and not the other way around. Now, in the manga, Gohan states that by what happened in the manga with Gohan killing Cell with the father-son Kamehameha, or what happened in the anime, because the TV special was actually released prior to what happened even in the manga. So if anything was inspired by anything, the manga and the anime would have been inspired by the TV special and not the other way around. Now,
here's why that doesn't matter. The manga has the authority to dictate canon. The TV special was classified, the TV special / movie, okay, was classified as non-canon. This irrefutably identifies the events of the manga as having priority over anything that you think you noticed about that movie, regardless of when it came out. Because a person can say, okay, well, now time to release the official version. Now time to rule out in some things and to confirm some things of how it actually happened. So regardless of which was released first, you still fail to invalidate, okay, what is established as the canon. And in the canon, future Trunks is told that he'll surpass Gohan in a month or 2. And then Gohan later on dies. Future Trunks says he went back, he was able to identify the limits of their power, and says that the androids that these new ones had was off the charts. Not just the semantics that Kwame chose to play when he said, well, the guide says somewhat inferior. The guide says somewhat inferior. And I'm like, oh, now you're trying to play semantics of what the guide says, but in order to claim everything you've claimed this entire time, you have attempted to choose the anime, the non-canon special / movie, over what is in the manga. So how dare you go to the guide and reiterate something that the guide said to invalidate something Trunks said, when here you are using the non-canon movie to try to invalidate the manga? You gotta pick one. The reason why I have such a huge problem with him trying to employ the semantics is because both the anime, the manga, and the guide say something that is consistent with itself. So you trying to split hairs based on the semantics of the phrasing is kind of like, bro, you just don't want to accept it, right? Whereas when Trunks says the strength these new androids have is off the charts, keep in mind, he's been attempting to validate differences that he thinks he can prove in the TV / movie special that is non-canon. He's been doing it the entire time. And the moment that he hears something that he doesn't like, what he says is, well, nope, the guy says only somewhat inferior. Yes. Now let me explain how pissy it is to play semantics on something that agrees with all the other iterations. That is, in the manga, Trunks makes it clear that the future androids have nothing on the androids in our current timeline. In the anime, he says that the strength that these androids have are off the charts compared to the other ones. That the other ones were stronger than him, but nowhere near this much. That he was able to put up a fight against them. And so much, in fact, that he knows the capabilities of their power. You know that by how much you can get on their ass. Okay? And what we saw was future Trunks wasn't able to land a blow on these versions of the androids. This same future Trunks was already clarified to be stronger than what future Gohan was in the manga. He spends so much time talking about the TV. Yes, they all agree they were inferior. However, in the actual phrasing, Trunks is massively surprised because he didn't land a single blow against these guys. Go look at the fight when they try to get involved for Vegeta. Trunks doesn't succeed in landing a single blow. He charges Android 18, it's immediately blocked. 17 lays him down in a single blow. Now Trunks says he was getting on their ass, so much so that he knows the limits of their strength. He knows they're a little stronger than me, but no, I was putting up a fight with them. Now, this is a canon confirmation, a canon clarification that has been applied to the material. So, rather than going to the non-canon movie special and being like, oh, well, over here, as you can see, it looks like Gohan fights him to a standstill. And well, over here, in the canon clarification, okay, it doesn't matter what came out first. What it's going to attempt to do is pay homage, okay? It's going to pay homage to that which has the clarified, established fact. Hey, I'm canon and you're not. So what it turns out is, no matter what, it ends up being a reference to the real thing, to the real deal. What you can assume, as always, is what was clarified in the manga. Check this out.
Because if 18 jumped in like she did with 17 in the TV special, Piccolo would have been dead before Cell even showed up. Now, of course, the present androids are stronger than the future.
Way stronger than the future androids. In fact, that Piccolo who was fighting without Kami would have destroyed the androids. Oh yeah, would have destroyed the androids. Check this out.
Ones, but Gohan held his own against two future androids and overpowered them in that beam clash where they combined their energy. But to make an even stronger case for future Gohan, Dat Bird points out in one of his YouTube shorts that the Daishenzu states the future androids were only somewhat weaker than the present android.
Okay, here we are. The future androids are only somewhat weaker. So now you're playing semantics on the phrasing. They have to say it in exact form of, no, it's consistent with what we already knew. They don't have to massively, way capitalize. They don't have to. It's consistent. The androids of the future are literally no match for the androids of the present. As you can see, because Trunks said, hey, I was able to fight those guys. I was able to get on those guys. Those guys are nowhere near as strong as this. The strength that these androids have are off the charts. Here's the thing about the anime. The anime is really referencing the manga, right? The anime is attempting to reference what is happening in the manga, what is clarified as canon. It's not trying to be like History of Trunks movie, although it was a decent movie. So perhaps I can convey this a little bit better on where my problem with this is. Okay, when it comes down to things like Trunks outright stating that, hey, the androids in my time are no match for these androids are off the charts, your androids are off the charts. He did his entire video on the premise that, hey, the TV special / movie looks like it could be considered a bit differently. And so the entire time he's making his points for Gohan based off of the idea that the movie doesn't suggest the same thing as the manga. But here he is, though, when something he doesn't like is happening, running back to the guide and telling us what it is in the manga in order to suggest this nigga is flip-flopping every which way for Gohan. Tell me you're not noticing that as well. Oh my god, thank you so much for being such a great fan. Oh, damn. Put your face down, Shogun! Damn. Don't put your feet down. Go ahead and get him! You're gonna whoop my ass! Nah, don't let him out. Don't let him out. Nah. Oh my god. Oh my god. This podcast is brought to you by Dragon Lab TV Entertainment. Please enjoy yourself. Yeah, you bitch dog. Shogun. Damn.